This is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She made an appearance on the Roseanne show, like the Roseanne podcast or whatever. I want to give this a listen because the things that they said were absolutely psychotic. So let's see what they have to say. This is not part one. If you didn't see the others, don't sweat it. This stands independently of the rest. I'll give context if it's missing. And while we listen, we're going to play some Final Fantasy VII Remake. Should just be in the background. Won't bother you too much. You never played before.
Do you trust anything that's being parroted out of the
Okay, this is coming up.
mouth of so-called experts on the TV?
No, when I hear trust the experts, I know they're lying.
After the last 3 years, I just don't trust anybody.
Me either.
That's why I'm very excited to introduce you guys to the Wellness Company and
Oh my God, dude. Okay, now she's got a shout out for some company. You know what? Why not? Let's listen to her ridiculous sponsor.
specifically their medical emergency kit. It has 8 potentially life-saving medications so you can feel safer. It comes with meds like, what?
Amoxicillin is one.
Amoxicillin, you read those, Jake.
That's useful. That is an antibiotic. That's important.
Ivermectin.
Oh yeah, that's the
Ivermectin's also important in all seriousness. It's not useful to cure COVID, obviously. I'm sure I don't even need to say that. But ivermectin is useful for antiviral, or no, what is it? Antibacterial? What is it that it helps cure? I forget now. Anyway, really, really useful for what it's intended to cure. It was like a breakthrough medicine when it was first invented or whatever.
big one.
That's
Z-Pack.
the horse paste. Z-Pack.
Yeah, Z-Pack is also useful.
And it also has a 22-page guidebook, which is basically like having a doctor on call.
Yeah.
You don't have to go on WebMD and see that you have cancer.
I got to get one of those for everybody for Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if it's legal that this company is like selling this stuff. I think all that stuff is prescription only, isn't it? Isn't amoxicillin prescription only? And ivermectin? How are they selling this stuff to people?
That would be a great, and a satellite phone.
Christmas present.
That would.
That's what I'm doing. So right.
Anti-parasitic. Oh my God. Yes. Thank you, Jas Proxy. I could not remember. No, I'm sorry. Hellbound Hillbilly. Thank you for that. I could not remember what it was. Anti-parasitic. Yeah. Really, really useful stuff. So antibacterial, anti-parasitic. Is Z-Pack supposed to be the antiviral medicine?
Write me down and get me that money.
I will. And your liberal children.
Oh, hell, I'll even give them one.
They love ivermectin. They're huge fans of ivermectin.
Liberals?
Fans after Joe Rogan came out with it.
No, that was when it was horse paste. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, twc.health/RB. Use promo code RB.
Wow. No, thank you. I'm going to pass on that one. Yeah. Ivermectin is actually a legitimately useful drug. Extremely valuable. But it's prescription only to my knowledge. So people were getting ivermectin in the form of horse paste. Like you can give it to your horse. And they were getting that kind because that's all they could get legally without a prescription. They didn't need a prescription to ivermectin. It wasn't going to cure them of COVID. Anyway, what a simply wild thing to say, all of this.
It's queer for Palestine.
Yeah. We should send them there.
Just a psyop. All of it is. I don't think any of them are real people.
All right, let me just address this real quick about Palestine and about their support or hatred of the gay community. I very obviously support the gay community 100%. I'm 100% behind the LGBT community. But Palestinians, by and large, are not behind the LGBT community. That's accurate, what they're saying here. That does not justify extrajudicial killing of them. It's not okay to murder people because of their political beliefs. I'm talking children. It's not okay to murder people, children included, for their political or religious beliefs or whatever. Unacceptable. That's what these people are like implying, if nothing else, right now. That's what they're saying. It's what Roseanne and Marjorie Taylor Greene are trying to communicate. These people are not worthy of life because they don't like gay people. And it's even up in the air whether it hasn't even been established if the people who are dying, women and children who are dying, have a problem with gay people. Nobody stopped to ask them before dropping a bomb on them and destroying their home and their school and their hospital. So I have a hard time connecting with this argument because nobody deserves that. Nobody. But okay, go on. Tell me more about how every Palestinian apparently hates gay people and that invalidates their lives by default.
Quick interjection, this won't take long, I promise. I'd appreciate it if you watched to the end of the video, or at least a couple extra seconds, because YouTube bases its algorithm off of watch time. The more watch time a video has, the further the video will go. Also, take a look at my website, owenmorgan.com. I'm selling my book, Understanding Jehovah's Witnesses, 400 pages, and my second book, 100 Questions for Jehovah's Witnesses, which is about 80 pages. And you can find them both there on the website. Audio form, ebook form, whatever. It's about my experiences within the religion and the history of the religion generally. The 100 questions are intended to challenge a religious leader, so I'd appreciate it if you give it a read. Okay, back to the video.
They got to be working for this show or whatever it is to make the American people see it finally, how it's just double standards and money, and we already know it anyway.
Yeah.
But it's so in our face now that we'd have to be just insane not to see it. And they're still out there going, nope, this is our democracy.
That's right.
But it's like it's not.
I mean, Roseanne talking about double standards, and Marjorie Taylor Greene after saying Steve Bannon shouldn't go to jail, but Hunter Biden should go to jail. Matt Gaetz should not be charged with a crime, but Hunter Biden should be charged with, the alleged same crime. They should not go through the court system for this stuff.
Not a democracy, you stupid.
No, not right now. It's not.
Yeah, you stupid.
We have we're supposed to have democratic elections for our constitutional republic.
That's
it's
right.
not a democracy. Stupid SOBs. I'm so sick of it.
We do live in a democracy, actually. It's called a democratic republic. Get help, people. How are these people so completely uninformed on this stuff? I don't understand how she's so in the dark about this.
I mean, I'm so sick of it.
It's pretty bad.
Can I ask you a question, Marjorie? In your book, you're talking about,
Yeah.
we'll talk about your book more, but you mentioned Gen 6. I've always wanted to ask you, do you think it was an inside job? Do you think it was, or they were opportunistic?
An inside job? What is that? Like Donald Trump was involved, I assume? Is that what she means? Sorry, is that what he means?
They being the left imprisoning the J6.
Oh, no, it's not Donald Trump who did the inside job. Apparently he's asking her if she thinks the left did January 6th. Are you serious?
Were opportunistic. They being the left imprisoning the J6 prisoners.
Don't you think it's all Pelosi?
Do you think they let him in purposely?
I think it was entrapment. I think it was entrapment. I think that's the appropriate term for it.
Yeah.
Similar to the Whitmer.
Dude, oh my gosh, she's talking about Gretchen Whitmer. She's saying that it was entrapment for the January 6th people to whatever. Right, okay. There's a group of Muslims back in the early 2000s called the Dixon Five, I believe. The FBI famously basically talked these people, the Dixon Five, into committing a terrorist act that they would not have. They radicalized them. The FBI radicalized these 5 Muslims. And when they were on their way to do something psychotic, then they arrested them and put them in ADX Florence Supermax, the most intense, locked down prison in the world, maybe, at least in the United States. It's disgusting and evil and horrific and sad. That's entrapment. Do they care about entrapment? Is she running a campaign against entrapment now? Is she upset about the FBI trying to get people pulled into stuff that they wouldn't have done otherwise? This is new. This Gretchen Whitmer stuff about entrapment, though, this very definitely was not entrapment with Gretchen Whitmer. There were, 10 guys or something who set out to capture and kill Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan at the time. The goal was to get her and then to execute some people on live TV so that they could get their goals accomplished, get their, get their political agenda pushed through. Absolutely disgusting. And they were charged with a crime and got out of it. They got out of it. The guy who informed the FBI, he was involved in the group previously, and he decided to inform the FBI about what was going on. This dude agreed to a plea deal of like 5 years and got stuck with that plea deal anyway when the Gretchen Whitmer people got out of it completely. It was just wrong how it all played out. Anyway, that's what she's referring to here.
A kidnapping case, that insanity.
Yeah.
So the same way there was like, I don't know how many FBI agents versus like just a few of these guys that totally got taken advantage of. And
They mapped out her house, found bridges they could blow up, and planned when they were going to show up to like capture her and force their demands on people or whatever. Are you serious with this?
yeah, they did the wrong thing, but they just were, it was like a honey trap.
Dude, they did the wrong thing. I can't believe she's even admitting that. They arrested 2 of them on a bridge. Oh, did they? I had no idea it was on the bridge. That's crazy.
You guys were going to dispute the election, send it back to the states. That January 6th happened, and then the vote went through. It seemed like I guess what I'm saying is I think they might have planned the entire, not saying that we weren't responsible.
I think they
I think they
definitely
might
did.
have saw that we.
The left planned January 6th? So is he saying that January 6th is a bad thing then? I'm trying to understand what his position is. Was January 6th bad or not?
They were angry. They shot bombs, smoke bombs in the crowd, and they thought this is a good way to get out of the vote. Were they that smart, do you think? Or do you think they just...
I think they were that smart.
Oh,
Nancy
yeah.
Pelosi had, she had intelligence. They gave multiple intelligence briefings.
It's completely made up what she's saying here. Donald Trump's been spreading this idea that Nancy Pelosi rejected 10,000 troops or whatever. This is just made up out of whole cloth.
Back in December.
Yeah.
I know of as early as December 18th, maybe even before that, that there was threats of violence, people were planning things, but they also had that intelligence because why? The FBI had embedded themselves into all these groups. And
Into an extremist group? Really? The FBI embedded themselves in an extremist group? Isn't that the FBI's job? Isn't that what they do? And they follow people around until they're about to commit these terrorist acts? And when they're getting ready to, or when they're like in the middle of executing it, then they charge them with all these crimes, conspiracy to commit murder or whatever other thing.
Quick interjection, this won't take long, I promise. I just want to say I'd appreciate it if you check my Patreon. owenmorgan.com/Patreon to find it. YouTube's algorithm goes up and down, so I can never predict where it's going to be. Having patrons gives me some level of stability. Okay, back to the video.
How can she say this shit with a straight face? I don't understand. This is definitely an ends justify the means mentality here, right? She's willing to lie and twist and distort any information, anything at all, if it means that she can accomplish her goals. She can say or do whatever it takes. It's just insane to me how low she's willing to go.
and it was like an entrapment scheme going on.
Yeah.
And they were antagonizing them and pushing them, just like we saw Ray Epps go into the Capitol.
Ray Epps was not an FBI informant, had never worked with the FBI before. These people demonized a guy who was innocent of that. He was a January 6th nutcase, so there's that, of course. And he was there to, commit an insurrection. But he wasn't part of the FBI. Wasn't working with them, wasn't working for them, was not informing them or anything at all. And these people they cannot be intellectually honest about anything, seemingly.
Same thing was happening in all these social media private group chats all over the place. This was and they've talked about it. These January 6th defendants have talked about this extensively, but the media doesn't cover it. And so I think it was building and building.
Doesn't cover what?
Building and building. I think the Democrats knew it was coming. Nancy Pelosi had been briefed on the intelligence, and she turned down the National Guard.
Just complete bullshit, all of it. Everything that they're laying down right now is bullshit. Doing their best to lie and propagandize and twist things around to make the left out to be the bad guys in the January 6th thing. Really? That just blows me away. That they've somehow managed to turn the left into the perpetrators of January 6th.
So did the mayor of D.C. publicly in a letter she put out on her own Twitter on January 4th. No National Guard. Nancy Pelosi said no National Guard. So they left it wide open.
Did she say why she didn't want to do National Guard? I don't remember.
Like, this whole thing is a lie.
She didn't give a reason.
Okay.
That I know of, but she turned down the
Even
National
the
Guard.
police chief came out saying that everything they said was pretty much a lie.
Oh my God, dude. Well, again, like, what's she even talking about right now?
But I think there was a guy on Twitter, and he disappeared. And
Okay, just a quick tip here. If your source is a guy on Twitter who disappeared, you don't have a source.
asked people what happened to him. His name was John Here to Help. Do you know who that was?
Mm-mm.
But a full year before it happened, about 8 months, he tweeted, "They're going to steal the whole election. They have it all planned." This was a year before the election.
I mean, Donald Trump was saying this a year before the election took place. Everybody knows Trump was trying to get people worked up about the election and claim that, you know, they were going to try to steal it from him and all this other garbage. How can they sit here with a straight face and say this shit? Seriously, this is just insane.
Wow.
On Twitter, he was a
Wow.
whistleblower, but I think he disappeared. But he said, yeah, they have it all
Planned out.
planned out. And how you know? Well, I think they were like Swalwell now. They're all, and like, what's his name too? They're all making documentaries about themselves.
Of course.
And Pelosi hired her daughter.
Wait. Okay, Eric Swalwell is a congressman. I don't remember if he's Senate or House, but I think he's House maybe. Anyway, he's on the left. I think he's a Democrat. And they're complaining about him making a documentary about his life. Are we talking like Marjorie Taylor Greene making or writing a book about her experiences on January 6th? Is that the kind of thing we're talking about right now? I just want to make sure we're talking about the same thing.
To make the
On January 6th.
Yeah.
to do the reality show or documentary, because they're like, oh, you know, Netflix is going to pay us $20 million on top of that.
Oh, totally.
So it's like, well, all we have to do is document. And so, like, she picks up the phone. These are my favorite things being a Hollywood person.
Seriously. She's complaining about somebody talking about some crazy event that happened to them in a public forum. This is just shameless nonsense.
She picks up the phone and it's off. There's nothing on the screen.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, there's nothing on the screen. It's
Oh, I
black.
did see that. Yeah.
And she goes, tell him he'll have to go between me and the police. I'll be damned if he's gonna, looking right at the camera with the
She
thing
probably
off.
did multiple takes.
Yeah, she probably, that's probably
I have no idea what they're going on about right now.
her
They were
third
like,
take.
yeah, her daughter's like, do it again,
Do it again,
Mom.
yeah. A little more
I didn't
energy.
really believe it, Mom. Put a little more of your. And then everybody that's following Pelosi documenting this fake insurrection that she's making a reality show out of. 'Cause
Well, was it real or fake? It sounds like if the left did it, then it's real, right?
she wrote it, and then, you know, her staff, who are all probably writers I can fired. Half of the shit that goes
Oh, look at you. You're super special.
on at the Democrat Party is writers I fucking fired because they're so cornball and hacks. I couldn't use them on my show, and they ended up
This is painfully stupid.
writing for the Democrats.
How about
I'm
that?
telling you,
I believe you.
it's
How about that? I believe you. This is such a joke.
true.
Yeah.
So, anyways, there they are writing her reality show, you know. And then it showed all the crowd of people, her supporters. They're really her donors.
Mhm.
I got all figured. You know, I know everything. So they're all taking
You know I know everything. I love everything about this.
pictures of her doing, I'll stop him if it's the last. And they're holding up their phones, and they're all black too. There's nothing on any of their phones because they're like, they'll screen it in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, probably so. Like, they didn't have to think about it.
Yeah, they're
It's
just
insane.
in the reality show
Isn't that crazy?
that she's
That would be crazy if it were real. What's crazy is that these people are formulating this conspiracy theory out of thin air.
writing about how she saved our democracy from our constitutional republic.
She didn't. Yeah. Yeah, right. And then she proceeded for the next 2 years as Speaker to destroy our country.
Yeah.
Literally destroy our country.
They
Passed-
double
They
speak.
passed the Green New Deal.
Yeah.
Totally passed the Green.
Wait, the Green New Deal was not passed. What are they talking about? A prominent 2019 attempt to get legislation passed for a Green New Deal was sponsored by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ed Markey during the 116th U.S. Congress, though it failed to advance in the Senate. The Green New Deal was, I think, an attempt to hire employees to create like a clean energy sources or something like that. As FDR put it, the U.S. government is the employer of last resort, and FDR hired a bunch of people to work on fixing roads and stuff when there was a big depression. But the Green New Deal didn't pass. I don't know what they're talking about right now. They're just making shit up right now.
Green New Deal, which is the Communist Manifesto, basically.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? It's the Communist Manifesto?
She passed a bill twice on the House floor that would make abortion legal up until the day of birth.
Yeah.
They all voted for that.
Oh my God, dude. Give it a rest. Nobody is trying to abort a baby at 39 weeks and 6 days.
They love baby killing. It's
They
their
do.
favorite sacrifice
Yeah.
to the devil. They love it.
Yeah.
And
Dude, this is just crazy.
Well, they love the baby blood. They love bathing in that and drinking it too. Now,
I've heard.
Yeah, they do.
I like your mom. We're going to.
I love it.
I says,
Oh, he's her son. Okay, I didn't realize that. Oh my God, dude. I got to write this down. Holy Christ, dude. These people honestly, seriously need help without a hint of sarcasm. There's this guy named Mark Taylor on the left here. He's also a QAnoner. And a while back, this is from late May 2022, there was a formula shortage at the time in 2022. And it was a big problem. We were trying to import formula from Canada and Europe and stuff, but it didn't meet our standards in the US. Anyway, we finally got that resolved. But during the formula shortage, or maybe even just slightly after, Mark Taylor had this to say.
When politicians go to Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, this is why they lose all wisdom. Columbia is another name for Baal, the District of Baal.
I don't know where he's getting that from.
They are working for and under the protection of the District of Baal, whose food source is the aborted babies.
Holy shit, dude.
Do you think it's a coincidence that they are creating a food shortage for us? Did they know ahead of time that we were going after Roe versus Wade? They are going after our food sources because we are going after theirs.
Beautiful.
Which is the babies.
The babies. Do you think
What a completely psychotic thing to say. Seriously. How have they come to the absolutely whacked out conclusions that they came to? This is straight up QAnon nonsense. Absolutely wild. And this is like the QAnon belief. This is the core of it all. And here we sit listening to Roseanne basically repeating that, right? Just step back, listen one more time here to Roseanne.
they love the baby blood. They love bathing in that and drinking it too. Now,
I've heard.
Yeah, they
I
do.
I like your mom. We're going to.
I love it.
I says
I've
in
been
my
waiting for
act,
this
I
for
put,
so long.
well, you know what? Now they're going to sell, they already proved they're selling the aborted fetuses, Phoenix.
No, that was not proven. That's not happening. And I don't even know who they is, again, in this scenario. What the hell is happening? There was a guy from Project Veritas, I think. I don't even remember. It's just this right-wing activist nutcase group who goes undercover and does crazy stuff, who steals documents and lies about things and everything. And people from Project Veritas have actually been arrested for stealing stuff or lying about stuff. I think, weren't they responsible for somebody's diary or something? I don't remember. Anyway, they went into, the Project Veritas people went into Planned Parenthood and got a job there and started trying to get the Planned Parenthood people to admit to selling babies and stuff. And that didn't happen. That was not what was happening. They were at Planned Parenthood. They were shipping this material to science labs. They're basically like universities for research purposes with the consent of everybody involved. And the universities and whoever else were paying the shipping costs to have the stuff shipped to them. That's what they paid for. But of course, these companies or this like activist group or whatever wanted to fabricate this big conspiracy theory out of it.
The aborted fetus parts to Bill Gates to put in his meat.
Wow. Okay, that's a new one. Bill Gates? Oh boy. That is an absolutely wild thing to say. Holy shit.
Phoenixes, the aborted fetus parts to Bill Gates to put in his meat. You know that's true.
The fake meat or the real
Yeah,
meat?
the
Well, it's
fetus
real.
meat,
It's
fetus
fake meat.
burgers.
Oh, good gosh.
Come on, when they put in their protein, we're
How is this still on YouTube? This is nuts.
eating humans. They got us all being cannibals.
Well, I'm not, because I would never buy his fake meat.
No, but they already got it. And McDonald's is selling fetus.
Is she talking about the Beyond Burger or whatever? That vegan burger that you can get at McDonald's? Is that what they're referring to right now? And they think that it has, like, how do I say this in a monetizer friendly way? They think that it has the byproduct of Planned Parenthood action or whatever. What the hell is happening?
Fetus burgers.
What?
Yeah, they got it in everything.
Man, I got to get back on QAnon. I am missing out on some good
No,
stuff.
that ain't-
Yeah, seriously.
It's QAnon, a lot of it.
no, it isn't. It's just about Bill Gates' fake meat.
When did you
Well,
leave?
Bill Gates is crazy.
Yeah.
He's absolutely insane. And why he thinks he can control the weather is beyond me.
Because he can't.
What are they even talking about right now? Like, get help, people, really.
Yeah, he definitely is trying. And then he's trying to destroy, like, reduce carbon down to
Seeds?
zero. Yeah, clouding the seeds, all this stuff. And then reduce.
Oh, I love it. Clouding the seeds. That's so funny. She has no idea what she's talking about. What she meant to say was seeding the clouds. Cloud seeding. This is, it's actually illegal to do this in wartime now, but you can, so rain happens when a cloud gets full enough and it has these little particles that can attach, that the water can attach to and like gather around or whatever. And when that happens, little like bacteria or whatever, when that happens, the rain falls. So if you seed clouds with particles, it will rain. You can kind of force it to rain or whatever. The U.S. government did that in Vietnam to extend the monsoon season and make it more difficult for Vietnamese to move troops. It's weather modification, and that's illegal to use in wartime. It's legal to use if you're trying to extend rain or create rain or whatever for the purposes of like crops, but you can't just go around doing that as like a weapon. Now that's what she's talking about. It's called cloud seeding. What was it she called it?
Yeah, clouding the seeds, all this stuff.
Clouding the seeds.
And then
Who are these people?
they're evil.
They're do you think they're possessed by demons?
They're fictitious, okay? This isn't happening.
I don't know what they are,
I
but
do.
I can't comprehend them.
They're not like us.
No, they're not like us at all.
Dude, this is wild.
Because we care about human beings.
Of course we do. Of course. We care about everyone. You know, we care about life, liberty, and happiness and protecting it.
That's right.
And these people care about taking that all away.
Marjorie Taylor Greene cares about life, liberty, and protecting it? Really? First time hearing of it. Is she really going to stand there and pretend that she gives a shit about freedom?
And giving us their weird version of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness,
It's
which
just
is nothing at
them.
all.
It's like them as the predators and us as the prey.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way.
It's just, vultures.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so scary. And
Dude, this is an absolutely insane video.
they definitely have the kids targeted, don't they?
They do. And here,
Okay, hang on. Naricol, rain is water vapor that clings to dust. The more water vapor that there is, the larger the drops and or quality of rain or quantity of rain. It got cut off. Seeding just accelerates the process. There you go. That's what's happening. That's what this cloud seeding things or seed clouding, if you will.
The kids targeted, don't they?
They do. And here's a perfect example.
Like, again, I don't know who they is here, and no one is targeting your kids, okay?
We went from, during Trump's administration, we had AOC in her little white suit down at the border crying at children in cages.
Making her reality show.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
remember the other angle? There was no one there.
Totally. Yeah, there was nothing there. It was an
The other angle. So they pointed the camera at kids who were separated from their parents, but another angle showed that behind her there was an empty cage. Huh, okay. As if, like, the people that they're pointing at aren't justification enough to throw a fit about this. Kids should not be separated from their parents. Aside from all of that, I don't even know if what they're saying is true. I'm just poking holes in their logic, like, real time here. I'm not even, like, bothering to look up the factual stuff. I don't have to. I recognize it as complete nonsensical trash.
empty parking lot.
She's just at a fence.
To now, over 85,000 migrant children missing. Well, where are these kids?
Oh my God, this is a big QAnon thing. This whole, like, kids are all going missing and all this other shit. This is a QAnon thing where they believe that kids are being, like, captured and sold into slavery and all this other stuff. This happens, you know, this is actually a problem in the world where kids are captured and then taken advantage of or whatever. But it doesn't happen to the extent or at the rate that these people claim that it does. And all of this garbage that they spread around about kids being, like, kidnapped and stuff is making it harder to help kids who are really actually suffering from this kind of thing.
Seriously, it's like, where are these
I
kids?
think they sold to Bill Gates and he ground them up and they're selling it.
Oh my God, dude. What is her obsession with Bill Gates?
I'm not kidding.
We're
They're putting the human meat.
They're in the
going to have
tunnels.
to take over the FDA and do an investigation on that.
We have
I'm
a lot
telling
of work to do.
I'm telling you, they are as you think you figure out how dirty and evil they are, which is why they don't want us to know nothing about Epstein Island, because they're even more horrible than we thought was possible.
Well, Planned Parenthood, no, specifically talking about selling baby body parts. Planned Parenthood
That is not what happened. Oh my God.
caught
I know.
in the act of
In the act.
selling these aborted fetuses, these baby body parts. No, that's very real.
I know.
And that
No, it isn't.
is horrifying. And then, you know, I'm on the Oversight Committee and I have AOC, I have Rashida Tlaib, I've got some
Oh,
lovely
you poor
women that I
thing.
serve with on there.
How
and-
can you stand
Yeah, what's
it?
that like?
Oh,
Give me a
it's
day in the
repulsive.
life. What's that like?
Like, Marjorie Taylor Greene has to know this is fake, right? Because she does, in fact, have access to privileged information, confidential information, classified stuff. How can she possibly sit here and acknowledge any of this is true when she knows it's not?
Like, what is that like?
It is.
Just walk us through a day.
Okay, well, first they attacked President Trump on everything.
Everything.
It doesn't matter what we're talking about. It's President Trump's fault,
Right.
and it's insurrection, and it's MAGA extremist Republicans.
Well, it was actually insurrection, and there are actually MAGA extremist Republicans.
Every single day, day in and day out.
Us.
And then occasionally you have AOC over there shrieking about, when are we going to talk about women's reproductive health care and abortion? And I'm like, I'm down for it. Let's go. I want to do, let's talk about Planned Parenthood selling those baby body parts.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
do.
You know, but I can't get.
And their funding coming from people who.
Yeah, we have to meet them on their level. Oh,
I
you
think
want to
so,
talk about
too.
abortion? Sure, let's describe the process.
Meet them on their level? Who is describing vivid, like, imagery about abortion or whatever, other than her? What do you mean you have to meet them on their level? My God, this person is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, the shit that she justifies. What's she referring to with the body parts? She's referring to materials that have been donated to science. Like, you know, you have like an organ donation or whatever. You donate your liver to science, or you donate your body to science or whatever. That's basically what it is, for a shorthand to make it simple. You can donate your body to science. And when you do that, the hospital charges the cost of shipping for the materials because shipping is expensive since it can't just go through USPS. They have to have somebody physically drive it, and they arrange shipping with people, basically. That's what she's talking about. And she says selling body parts. It's just like a fever dream, practically. It's insane. When you adopt a kid, it's like saying you're purchasing a kid in the human trafficking trade. That's what adoption is. You're purchasing children. That's not what it is, actually, obviously. But that's how she kind of views the whole thing. Just wild.
Yes.
Let's talk about
absolutely.
what
Was it consensual? Yes. Yes, absolutely. It was. She's getting all of this from, I think, a Project Veritas thing where this activist group came in and tried to uncover proof that they're buying and selling body parts and shit, when that's just like, that's not what happened. They discussed a price of shipping the body parts to the new location or whatever. They said, yeah, it's going to cost blah, blah, blah to ship it from here to there. That's it. Nobody was profiting off of any of this stuff because it's illegal to profit off of body parts.
you want to
so,
talk about
too.
abortion? Sure. Let's describe the process.
Yes.
Let's talk about
absolutely.
what actually happens to a baby when they rip it.
Oh, please, dude. All right, I'm skipping this. It's pointless. It's not a baby, okay? It's a clump of cells, a grouping of cells that is literally invisible. It's so small, it's impossible for the human eye to see. There's nothing there. There's no, like, nervous system or brain or heart or anything. These people are just obsessed with making it out as though there's some big cabal that's trying to, like, take advantage of people and trade in body parts and shit. Like, just get a grip on reality.
Don't look at where these kids that are children being trafficked.
Right.
It's a lot of times it's for their organs. Hello.
Do you know,
You
one of the worst
Oh my God.
places that's happening right now?
I know America's the worst place on earth for it.
America and Ukraine.
Well, she's completely full of shit. This whole Ukraine thing, no, that's not happening. This is actually a conspiracy theory that appeared a month after Ukraine was invaded by Russia. You know, everybody supported Ukraine at the time. Everybody. And if you didn't, then you just shut your mouth about it, basically. I remember how how all this played out. QAnon came out of the woodwork with this conspiracy theory about kids being trafficked in Ukraine. I think it was February. It was Delora O'Brien specifically spread this conspiracy theory around. And it was just made up. Completely made up. But, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I guess, views it as like her responsibility to spread bullshit. So I'm not going to play any of this vivid imagery that she's creating to try to get people emotionally, like, worked up over adoption or abortion or organ donation or whatever. Like, I don't give a shit. You know what a surgeon does when he has to amputate a limb? He does some real graphic shit to save the person's life. He does graphic shit to help people, to resolve problems or whatever. So yeah, I can describe really graphic shit that doctors do all day, every day. Doesn't mean that I don't think that it's okay, or it doesn't mean that it's even fair to characterize it as graphic or whatever. Anyway, that's just insane. Marjorie Taylor Greene is insane.
Oh, I knew.
Oh, and she's absolutely disgusting. She's a disgusting human being to say some of this shit.
Their favorite state, the 51st state of America, according to the Democrats. They are, women are being, it's like they're harvesting babies.
Mm-hmm.
They're
That is not happening.
having babies where these babies are being adopted, but they're not. Their organs are being harvested. Some are being adopted. Many of them are sold into slavery, sex slavery.
Oh my God, dude. No. No, no, no.
Let's talk about Rashida Tlaib, but let me put this in there. Oh, she cares about these Palestinian babies.
Oh yeah, Rashida Tlaib is Palestinian. She's I think the only Palestinian congressman.
Babies so much, but here's what she doesn't care about: that those tunnels that go all through Gaza, which are just laid bare now thanks to Israeli technology, because all of our wars are being fought in tunnels, which nobody knows anything about.
I don't know what the hell she's talking about. All of our wars are being fought in tunnels.
Because they don't want to know.
Oh, they don't want in. Well, that's why they're underground.
Yeah.
What the hell?
But that's where the real war is, because of trafficking.
Like, these people live in a fever dream.
Organs, weapons, and drugs, and all the stuff.
All of it.
And children.
Yeah.
So those tunnels in Gaza were dug by child slaves.
Where did she even get any of this information? If this information is not like public, how did she get it? Who gave it to her? Is she just like making shit up right now? Holy shit, man. Super nerd. Shipping isn't the only cost for this. You need to pay for some kinds of licenses. How the tissue is processed. Can only say that human brain tissue. I can only say that the human brain tissue someone in my lab is much more expensive and requires much more paperwork than the mouse tissue someone else used, or the fruit flies that I used. That makes sense. I can see that. My God, dude. These people are just disgusting. And you can't convince me that Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't know exactly what she's doing with some of this stuff. She knows that she's lying. She can't possibly not. She's on the House Oversight Committee, right? She has access to classified intel. She has to know that what she's saying is a lie here. She has to.
Hamas, who she loves, they so oppress the Palestinian people. I mean, they're just really Arab people that live in Gaza. And, you know, they take...
okay, I don't know what point she's getting at. They're just Arab people in Gaza.
Take their children, and every family has a child they lost to Hamas terrorism. Right. And they dug all of those tunnels with child slavery.
Well, funny enough, actually, Israel dug a lot of those tunnels and like constructed them. Israel also, interestingly, funded the Hamas political party. I talked about this previously, but Hamas is the power that it is today because of Israel. Because Israel funded this whole thing in favor, because Israel funded the whole thing trying to make Hamas more powerful as a militant group rather than non-militant groups. They wouldn't have a pretext to, go to war with Gaza anymore if it was running well and if it was like non-militant and all of that stuff, if the government there wasn't. So anyway, I don't want to hear like any of this shit about supporting Hamas or digging tunnels or whatever. FYI, I don't stand for Hamas. Hamas is terrible. I'm sure everybody can understand and agree with that, right? Hamas bad. But we have to like understand that mistreating Palestinian people, killing Palestinian kids and women, and honestly the men too, killing Palestinians at all is bad. That's not desirable. That's terrible. That's disgusting shit. What's more, Israel has full-blown concentration camps right now. They are doing to Palestinians exactly what Hitler did to Jews in Germany during World War II and leading up to it. There are concentration camps that have been, there's a whistleblower who took a video of inside of the concentration camps. They put restraints on prisoners and force them to hold their hands up for extended periods of time, and it's gotten to the point where they had to amputate the hands or the legs or whatever they restrained, whatever they tied. They have to amputate. Imagine that shit for a minute with me. That is absolutely unacceptable. I cannot stand for anybody being put through that shit. That is wrong. I don't care who they are, what they believe, or whatever. It's wrong. Anyway, Rashida Tlaib accurately recognizes that it doesn't matter what these people believe or whatever. They should not be subjected to torture, full-blown torture. Not only is it wrong, it's also internationally illegal. But Israel, the government of Israel, obviously doesn't give a shit about that.
They dug all of those tunnels with child slavery.
Who did, Israel?
And then when the kid, and I mean, they don't give them like 9 to 5. They work always until...
Like no sleep, you mean?
They're exhausted, and then they sell their organs. That's who Rashida Tlaib likes.
Oh my God. Give me a break, man. In Germany, they did give people time off, actually, in concentration camps, even in the death camps, because they wanted people to be able to work the next day. But they did work them into the ground. They worked them to exhaustion, and they didn't feed them enough. And when they fell and couldn't get up again, they took them to the crematorium, which spewed ash out of the top and landed on the workers that were doing the slave labor throughout the day. Real ugly shit. I imagine the Nazis probably would have sold organs if they could, or if there was any benefit to it. But yeah, Hamas is not doing that. This is not like a big problem or whatever. And if it is, all I need is a little bit of evidence. That's it. Just show me some evidence, and I'll believe it instantly. She has none.
And protects their government, their Hamas government, which is, they were elected.
Death of children.
By it's horrible.
They wear them as body armor, and then, they probably sell their
That's right.
organs.
They wear them as body armor. Kids? Like, I don't know about Hamas, probably. That's bad. That's evil. Hamas, bad. We can all agree on that, right? And using human shields at all is bad. That's against the Geneva Conventions. Israel uses human shields too. Israel uses them all the time. There is nothing moral about the Israeli army. I'm not talking about Jews. And if you think that, then you, without even realizing maybe, have acknowledged that that Israel is an apartheid state. I'm talking about the Israeli government and the absolutely disgusting shit that they're doing.
They take the children with them so that they're protected from the IDF soldiers.
And they're not even their kids. They're just kids they stole.
Like, they're just, where is she getting this information?
See, this is what the younger generation is being lied to, and it's extremely concerning. The polling shows in kids, 18 to 24, and that whole generation, they think that Israel are the bad guys.
Yeah.
And they don't believe that the Holocaust ever happened.
Yeah, I know.
Here it's for us, after 9/11, it's like, how can there be this many Americans, especially young Americans, supporting Hamas?
TikTok is a big one.
TikTok, yes.
It is.
TikTok supports Hamas?
It's a big one. Social media in general.
Yep.
Well,
universities.
It's also,
and the anti-Semitism is unbelievable.
Well,
I love that coming from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Anti-Semitism is unbelievable. That is so priceless.
It's a cycle that always recurs. It's like an infection that comes back every 70 years. It's a scourge.
You're right.
Well, that's true, actually, and the word is scourge, but that's neither here nor there. Every 70 years or so, we do have like a fascist uprising, an extremist uprising, because the generation who lived through it is no longer around. They don't, nobody has personal experience or remembers it personally anymore. And in a credit-based economy where you are borrowing money, which is all modern economies to my knowledge, you have up cycles and down cycles, like up rounds and down rounds. Every 7 years, you have a boom. It's called boom and bust. Every 7 years you have a bust cycle. And every 70 years you have a big bust cycle where everything just falls through the floor. So unless it's regulated and controlled and adapted and accounted for. So every 70 years or so you have a major depression or a major recession. And every 7 years you have a little recession, generally, in credit-based economies. But does Roseanne know any of that? Any details on this at all? Probably not, right?
Infection that comes back every 70 years. It's a scourge.
You're right.
But, because it's so easy, it's just really easy because it's a tactic of power. Whenever they get close to getting caught, the people who own everything, who are the royals, people don't ever want to hear that. They go, oh, that's a conspiracy theory to think that there's just a few people who control everything. What about kings and queens?
What about kings and queens? They control everything. I guess it depends, doesn't it? The British king and or queen don't really control everything. But aside from all of that, is Camilla a queen? I know, what's his name is a king. Charles. Charles is a king. Is his wife a queen automatically, I wonder? Anyway, this whole just a few people at the very top control everything bit, this is exactly, word for word, what Hitler said. Now, I'm not saying that people at the top with the most wealth don't get their way more often than not. They do. Like, I forget what it is. Like, 70% of the time, people at the very top with the most money get what they want out of bills and laws. Wealth controlling the democracy is absolutely a problem, but blaming specific people like George Soros or Bill Gates or whatever, that's exactly what Nazis did in an effort to kind of create like a populist uprising.
What about that?
Yeah.
When people are like, "Oh no, that's okay." That's Meghan Markle.
That's something else. Let's talk
Right.
about the Jews.
No, nobody wants a few people controlling everything, I don't think.
But the Jews actually work for royalty. And I always say the Jews work for people who don't work. So let's get it straight.
What?
The owners of the world are kings and queens. That's who owns the world. Okay?
I thought it was the WEF.
Well, that's who the
World Economic Forum. Yeah, that's just like an organization that kind of gets a bunch of rich people together, Elon Musk and others, and helps them figure out what they should donate funds to, where it would do the most good. Should Bill Gates donate funds to polio vaccines in Africa, or should he donate funds to, Ethiopian food dispensaries, or what? What would do the most good? What would have the most impact? That's what the World Economic Forum does. So anyway, that's what they're complaining about, the WEF. There's a big conspiracy about how it's out to get them or something.
WEF works for are for the royals too. Everything is for the royals. And if people can't even get that much, they're not going to get anything.
I guess the U.S. is run by royals?
You know?
So I got in trouble for a phrase I never said. Jewish
space lasers.
space lasers.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's a famous quote of yours.
And it's not even my quote.
I know.
That's what's so funny.
What is that?
So I wrote about it in my book to straighten it out so it was like 2018, I wrote up a Facebook post and I was talking about the governor of California and I was talking about PG&E, the electric company out there, and the wildfires.
Yeah.
And I was talking about this actually
machines.
new technology where they were harnessing the sun's power and sending it
Not the sun's power. They're harnessing the sun's power. That sounds dangerous.
back to these receivers on Earth and to harness the power. And it was like a new
Are you describing solar panels right now, Marjorie?
form of like energy.
Yeah.
And it was actually really interesting. And I mentioned that there was
She literally just described solar panels and she says new form of energy. Super interesting.
a Rothschild on the board, and I didn't even know the Rothschilds were Jewish.
Well, they're not.
They're not, they're
okay, so I
German.
knew
No.
nothing about,
Oh my God, dude.
A lot
that-
of people say they are.
but I didn't know,
Yeah.
knew nothing about it. I just knew it was a big, powerful name.
Yeah.
And then I made a joke and I said, what happens if they miss? And I was talking about like wildfires, and I was like, this harnessing the sun's energy, bringing it back to a receiver. And I was like,
This is so stupid. I'm not sure what word even applies here. Like, what word do I use to describe how stupid this is?
inventions mess up all the time. What happens if it misses? So some guy in the media took that old Facebook post of mine, literally like the first month I was in Congress in 2021, and created a headline. Marjorie Taylor Greene blames Jewish space lasers for California wildfires.
Oh,
And
my
that's,
God.
that's where, so you talk about that people can twist and make all kinds
Well,
of
that's
crazy
their
things.
job, is to twist.
I do happen to think
I
there
mean-
was some doom machine happening there. There was a direct energy weapon in California.
What do you think of that?
Well, that was also what people were saying.
Yeah,
And I
that
was
is a Jewish.
People were saying, apparently. Okay, what people? Can you tell me who specifically people were saying? Okay.
Space laser to some people, technically.
Well, they really
Right.
have Jewish space lasers. They really do.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. She's quadrupling down on this. So why is she even upset about people pointing out that she believes this? I find this so fascinating that she like simply agrees with the idea that like there are Jewish space lasers seemingly, right? And she's complaining that people are misrepresenting her. No, that sounds pretty accurate to what she thinks.
They have space
Israel.
lasers.
Yeah, space
They have
lasers are
land
real.
lasers.
They have.
Yeah.
There's military equipment that is
100%.
laser based.
I think Jews are real. That was Hawaii. That was one of the theories that we.
Did he say he thinks Jews are real?
I love that the
Oh, for
Israeli
Lahaina.
army has
For Lahaina.
rods
I mean, it's
from
all-
God.
Yeah.
Have you heard of those?
Rods, no.
Rods from God.
It's one
You
of their
should
weapons.
Look that up. That's
Is
one-
that
Dude, I gotta write this down. This is insane. Explains her Jewish space laser posts. I can't even guess what rods from God are supposed to be.
they're
that might
really
be the space
good.
laser
It
then.
is.
It might be
It
the
is.
space laser. So
Can I-
yeah,
can I ask
and
you a-
it's yeah.
I've one of the things I want to ask you about. Obviously, you're probably gonna hate to talk about it, but the McCarthy
Oh yeah.
thing with I know that you were on record.
Oh, right, because she tried to like get Kevin McCarthy kicked out, right?
Not really for the ousting originally, and the whole vote, and it seems like it probably wasn't the best move, just objectively. Can we
Yeah, super unpopular.
talk about that? Where we are now?
Absolutely. I'm glad to talk about it.
Okay.
I'm glad that people are starting to see that it really isn't turning out as it was promised. Well, so I think people have to understand that. So in our conference, in our
Oh, no. She supported McCarthy. That's what it was. And she opposed Mike Johnson.
Republican conference, and we have a majority of 222, and we're down now.
Uh-huh.
We're
Right.
going down practically by the week.
Yeah. Just scary.
And you have to have 218 for majority. That's the majority. We barely had it together from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And to Kevin McCarthy's credit, he was the only one that had relationships with everybody in the conference, that he was able to get everybody together, and we functioned. We didn't function well, but we functioned, and we were able to move forward. And so I come from a business background
Mm-hmm.
where, you know what, we got a job to do for our customer. We got to all get together. No matter what, we got to figure this out, and we got to get the job done. So that's my mindset.
Mhm.
He was the only person that wanted to be speaker. He was the only person that was running. And I think that got proven to the American people in that 15 rounds when nobody else wanted to run.
Yeah.
Nobody else could get elected. And our GOP conference is not red. It is purple. It's like a purple state.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking about Georgia, I think. Or is she talking about just like the Republican conference? I'm not sure what she's talking about.
And so people on the outside, and of course you don't know. You can't know because
Yeah.
you're not in there.
Right.
I wish people were in there. I would take the American people to work with me every day if I could,
Yeah.
because I want them to see all the crazy
They need
stuff.
to see it.
They need
Yeah.
to see it. And so there were 8 Republicans, some of them my very dear friends, ousted Kevin McCarthy, and we have been, excuse my language, a shit show ever since, because we don't have any better.
You were a shit show before that, too. Rods from God has been disproven as a viable weapon. I've never heard of that. Nickname for a theoretical space weapon system that involves dropping tungsten rods from a spacecraft into a target at hypersonic speeds. The rods are about the size of telephone poles and are guided with precision. When they hit their target at Mach 10, they release a large amount of kinetic energy, similar to a nuclear weapon, but without the radioactive fallout. The idea was first developed by Boeing operations researcher Jerry Purnell in the 1950s, called the weapon Project Thor. The name Rods from God comes from the idea that the weapon would rain destruction from above like a biblical plague. Okay, interesting. So it's not a viable weapon, I guess. I mean, we can pretty much do that without, dropping it from space. It's called hypersonic cruise missiles. But okay.
That keeps everybody together now.
Johnson doesn't do that.
Mike Johnson is a nice man, and I say that in all sincerity. He's a nice man. He's a Christian, but he has never been prepared to be speaker.
Yeah.
And I think that's showing. And he's got good intentions. I think he's trying, but it's not working.
Because they were going to.
It's not working.
Well, they have that has to be like a diplomat position, doesn't it?
We're never going to have, you're not going to have someone like me be Speaker of the House.
Right.
You're just not, because it's an election that happens inside the conference, and you got people in there that are practically Democrats voting.
Yeah, Jim Jordan, I thought would have.
Could never get the votes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Jordan is as bad as Marjorie Taylor Greene. He just isn't as focused on by the media.
And I think
That was heartbreaking because,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
And I
he's
like
such a
him.
truth teller.
Yeah,
I
was.
like him.
He's such a truth teller, she says. Jim Jordan, truth teller.
I supported him. He would have been great, but they wouldn't elect him. So now we're a mess. We really are a mess. We're very divided. Everybody argues all the time. And the way I see it, I see that as I look at the American people as our customer, and I see that as a failure. It's a failure because a lot of Republicans voted for us and gave us the majority.
Yeah.
And a lot of people donated money and gave us the majority.
Yeah.
And we have a job to do. And our job is to get our shit together and do our job for the American people.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Our job is to do our job. Okay. Funny that these people are always flip-flopping or flop-flipping, as it were, right? One moment, Jews are to blame for everything, and the next is the imaginary fascists in Ukraine. I'm getting dizzy. Yeah. Well, when you catch people saying nonsensical, mutually inconsistent things like that, it's because they don't actually believe what they say that they believe. Like, if Roseanne or Marjorie Taylor Greene say, I stand for Israel, but simultaneously say, Jews were God's chosen people, but gave up on him, and they don't, God doesn't love them anymore, and they're all going to die in Armageddon. There's something else there. There's a larger principle at play that they don't want to just come out and say. So you got to really think about it. Really think about what the underlying goal is there. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. This is just wild.